Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is going to be part 2 of episode 3 where we finish building the rear suspension. Enjoy it.
And welcome back. At this point, what I'm doing is I'm putting the two halves of the drive shaft together, so they just slip into each other, and we're going to be attaching the bearing carriers. What I just put in there was another long screw that's only threaded in near the head. It's the pivot point for that bearing carrier. And again, it will thread into the control arm. Again, if you're going to use a drill, make sure it's the clutch is all the way down. If you don't have a clutch type drill, don't use it. Use the screwdrivers. After attaching the top turnbuckle, we check to see if it's binding, and it's not. Repeat for the other side. Now we start attaching the pieces that actually attach this whole rear assembly to the chassis. I apologize in advance. I kind of was getting into the work at this point and wasn't paying super close attention to how in frame I was. What I was doing there was checking the size of the tool. Always use the correct size tool. If it's too loose, don't use it. If it kind of fits, kind of doesn't, don't use it. Make sure it fits properly. This piece will slide onto the piece I just installed, and it has, I can't remember if it's 2 or 4, but it's got screws that go to this, in the sides of it, into the transmission case. As you can see, like I said, I was kind of getting into the work and not really paying attention to how in frame I was. I do apologize about that. There's going to be 2 screws that hold the lower piece of the rear bash bar on, and then there's going to be a brace that's got 2 screws on the top, and then 2 screws that go into that bash bar that you see now. The top part of the rear bash bar is going in now. Like I said, there's 2 screws that attach it to the bash bar itself, and then 2 screws that attach it to the transmission case.
Now what you gonna do?
Attaching the shocks, the longer 2 are going to go in the rear, the shorter 2 are going to go in the front. And when you're attaching them, make sure that the reservoir cap end is up. The bottom screw, the build manual says to put it in the centermost hole. That's a good starting point. It will be getting changed up for drag racing. I'm just not sure which direction and how I'm going to do it yet. And once you get that tight, repeat on the other side. Also, make sure to check it and make sure nothing is binding.
Hey, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Check back next week for episode 4. See ya.